everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome one and all to episode 169 of In Focus Friday, the show where we take a good close look at cool things made of silver or gold. Now, as you've probably guessed from the intro, we are being sponsored by the Germania Mint today. They have very kindly sent us the latest round in the Allegories series, the Colombia and Germania. Now, despite this being a sponsored video and us not having paid for these, they've been sent to us as a gift by the Germania Mint. Massive thank you to them, by the way. We still aim to give an open, honest and fair overview of this newest round in the series in general, and the whole purpose of today's video is to give you as best a look as possible at this, share with you some of the specifics so that you guys and gals can make the best purchase decisions for yourselves if you want to look to pick these up. Now, before we jump into all of that, I've got here a really full, fun box of goodies, and in the latter half of this video here today we're going to be talking about the future of this series in Focus Friday. Voting will be returning, that's one of the things, and we've got a whole bunch of very cool things to showcase, so stick around to the end of the episode to see what we've got in store for the next 10-12 weeks or so. Well worth it. Now, back to the topic at hand, which is of course the Germania Mint. Here we have the latest in the series, the Colombia Germania. Now, I'm really excited to showcase this. I think they're absolutely stunning pieces. They're not perfect in any way, and we will be talking about some of the limitations that I do see these rounds having. First up, though, I want to say that I think this particular display is a marked improvement on what I received last time, which was a little cardboard box, which was very space heavy. This is a lot easier to store. Now, I don't know if this is how every single one will come. I suspect not, as it will be quite space heavy for 25,000 mintage of these to have. But nevertheless, it's a really nice display unit for these particular rounds with a couple of nice intricate features as well. The first being when you take the coin out of the little plastic holder there, the certificate of authenticity shows through the little plastic window, which I think is very cool. So one last little thing to showcase for you is that the Germania Mint have very kindly hand signed this, and this person I believe is the designer and producer, or the sort of project manager of this particular design and release. So a big thank you to them for personalizing that. That's very cool indeed, and that's going to be put in my long-term treasure box of memories for our time here on YouTube. Being sponsored by the Germania Mint is a very, very cool thing indeed. Now, let's get this round out of the capsule so that you guys can have a really close look at it. It's a really solid, nice, very, very well made capsule, I have to say, and it's quite tricky to open under pressure on camera. So let's see if I can get it done quickly. Yes, there we go, finally. Excellent. Right, now I'm just going to put a glove on as well, because I've still got a few little blisters, cuts and scrapes and bruises on my hands, and they're not that pleasant to look at. So I'm just going to put one glove on my left hand here. Now, not that you really should handle these with bare hands, but even if I didn't have little cuts and bruises on my hands, I'd probably just, well, in fact I will with my other hand, hold these and show it. You know, as I said, this is going to go in my long-term treasure box, but at the end of the day, they are premium products, and that's where I'm going to start. You know, these, for us here in the European Union and the UK, because they're not designated as coins, it's very important to say that. You know, we've got here 5 Mark at the bottom. Now, a Mark, or a Deutschmark, or just Mark in general, was the old currency of basically Germany. Germanic areas had different marks, different types of marks, but it's not legal tender anymore. So this is not technically a coin, which means that there is tax on this particular round in the European Union, and including the UK. Sales tax is usually of 20%, or maybe a little less for certain countries, but still, it really does make this a very premium round. So for those of you who are in the US or outside the EU, these represent a pretty good premium item. They're not too far over what you might expect for other premium items out there, and they look fantastic. They have some really fantastic thought and process going into their designs and details. So that is definitely something in their favour for US versus UK. So that's one of the little kind of criticisms I would have of this to the Germania Mint, perhaps to encourage and grow the European market, exploring the actual proper coinage of these rounds would be something to think about. Now, the design itself is very, very interesting and cool. So the whole series of the Allegories is all about taking the female heraldic kind of figures from different nations all around the world. Of course, Britannia is well known. Germania is pretty well known. You've got other ones like, well, we've got Colombia here on this particular round, but I'm just thinking off the top of my head for a few others. We've got Miss Helvetia for Switzerland and various others as well. So, this whole series is very cool. It's showcasing and highlighting the kind of female effigies of these different countries, and I really do think it's very nice as a series. Now, here on this one we have, of course, Colombia. Now, for those who are not in the know, Colombia as a female heraldic figure is not referring to the country of Colombia. It is referring to North America, specifically more America, and that's of course partially because of Christopher Columbus, who discovered the Americas, and of course it was named Colombia in that sort of strange sense, and then the word Columbia and the female form of Columbia was evolved from there over time. So that is where that comes from. We've got here Colombia and Germania embracing with their hands, they're holding hands in that sort of sign of peace. They've got their various different regalia all on them, looking very good actually. Now, one criticism I had of the Britannia and Germania was that Britannia was looking a little bit cheeky. Now, I did mention that it was almost like it was an allegory for real life because, us Brits at the moment are being a little bit funny towards the continent of Europe at the moment with regards to Brexit, and we're being a little bit coy and fey about the whole situation. So, I thought that was interesting, but I also criticised that I didn't think that was, a serious design for, serious collectors or appreciators of these type of pieces. So that's definitely this is definitely an improvement. I think it's less cheeky. I think there's more seriousness going on there, and you can really see the sort of highlights of those details, which I think is very nice indeed. Now, as I'm looking at this, it's a very bright, sunny, lovely day here. The sun's streaming through our window. I have to say that in the light, and maybe it'll be a little bit different on the actual screen when you're looking at it, but through the viewfinder of the camera here, it's a little difficult to kind of pick out the features on the really glossy, shiny bits of Colombia's face and Germania's face as well. So that's something to sort of think about there. A matte finish on those parts maybe would have brought out the detail a little bit more. We've got some really stunning detail though on, of course, this side. This is the typical Germania mint sort of design and side. It's the same on the Britannia round here as well. Really, really stunning, and it's nice to see a coin around a design that has some real care and attention put onto both sides. If anything, this side here always seems to outshine some of the other designs. It's a kind of a compliment and criticism at the same time, I feel, because you've got such an incredible sort of side here with all of this intricate detail and loveliness. Really is incredible. But then on the other side here, it almost is outplayed by that stunning finish. So yeah, interesting. Nevertheless, I do think the design is rather tasty. It's rather nice, and one which I think will do quite well as an aesthetic piece. Now, in terms of some of the specifications of this particular round, we've got 4 different iterations in silver now. In the Britannia Germania, there were only 3, the 1, the 2 and the 5 ounce. This time they're introducing a 10 ounce version as well. Now, the mintages for these, for the 1 ounce is 25,000, for the 2 ounce is 2,500, for the 5 ounce is 500, and for the big chunky 10 ouncer, it's 250. So really low mintages when you go down up in weight, down the scale. Which is interesting, and it's certainly going to reinforce the huge premiums on those items, I do think. Now, one thing that I've heard a number of the different sort of people out there who've been reviewing this round mention is that the different sizes of these are not done in diameter, they're done in thickness. So this diameter is 38.61 millimeters across. So all the other coins will be exactly the same diameter, but they'll have different thicknesses. So if you can imagine this particular thickness times 10, and I did a quick little measurement, that would be 30 millimeters, nearly 3 centimeters in thickness, which is pretty thick indeed. And I do think that that is going to play a little bit against these in terms of their collectability at the higher end. I really do think having a wide piece with the design showcased as best as possible would be better. So for me, I would much rather see big, wide coins that you can see all of the details really shining out and shining through. That would be much better in my opinion. That said, as I'm standing or sitting here holding this round in the sunlight here, you can see all of the glistening coming off it. I have to say, it's absolutely exquisite like that. I've picked a really good day to showcase this and showcase that sunlight coming off. It's incredible coming off those glossy parts. I wonder if we get some similar effects on this side. But, you know, the sizes are going to be each to their own. You know, we've seen the Queen's Beast series in 2 ounce. That's been nice and thick and really quite enjoyable. But again, the big 10 ounce Queen's Beasters, they're just stunning in that big width. So it would have been nice perhaps to see, you know, maybe with the 5 ounce, you still have the same kind of thickness of coin. Round, sorry, no, they're not coins. But maybe with the 10 ounce, it would have been special, even more special as a mintage of 250, to have it really wide and showcase the design in all of its glory. It does sort of, it harks to the point that maybe they're basically reusing dies. You know, it's saving money in that sense. And, you know, these are meant to be premium high-end products. So that's maybe one thing for the Germania Mint to think about. I think they make some really great designs and really great quality coins. It would be good to see them coming out with something that's wider, thicker and bigger, perhaps in the future. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I have to say, this has actually really grown on me across the course of filming this video with it sitting here in the light. It's absolutely stunning. It really is. Anyway, but I think it's very cool. In terms of whether it's going to be one of the sort of premier coins of 2019 going into 2020, only time will tell. I think it's got a pretty good chance being, you know, quite limited in mintage, quite, you know, basically desirable. There's a bit of buzz out there, and it's aesthetically pleasing as well. So I think it's got as good a chance as any of doing quite well. Will you triple, quadruple your money on them? It's unlikely, but, you know, again, if you're enjoying these and you're buying them for the right reasons to enjoy them, then I can't see you going too far wrong with them. So a big thank you once again to the Germania Mint for sending me these rounds. I really do appreciate your support and sponsorship of the channel. And thank you to all of you guys in the camera here. Thank you for watching, because without you guys, sponsorships like this wouldn't happen. You know, so I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to put these to one side because I guess sponsorship forms the kind of sum up part of the next bit of this video. So for the last couple of weeks now, we've basically been doing sponsorship videos here on InFocus Friday. And that's fine, I really don't mind doing that. But I also feel like we're losing sight a little bit of what InFocus Friday was originally all about. And that was me getting a bunch of cool coins, different designs, funky things, and showcasing them here on YouTube for all of you guys to see. And we also had a lot of community engagement because we did lots of voting on different things. So what I've done is I've gone shopping. I've gone and bought a whole array of different cool looking rounds and silver coins. In fact, I think all of these are coins actually technically, to showcase explicitly here on InFocus Friday. So what you see here is basically the next 12 weeks, I think, of InFocus Friday. We've got an awful lot of cool items to showcase. So for you long-term viewers out there, we will be going back to our usual format of casting votes for what you want to see next week. So I'm just going to choose 3 at random. Let's choose these 3 here. So you can see we've got a whole load of other ones. We will introduce them slowly as we go throughout the rest of the next couple of weeks and months in InFocus Friday. But for the time being, we've got 3. Now, what have I chosen? We've got a very cool, interesting round with a samurai on it. That is a very cool one. Fijian silver coin there. We've got a Montserrat with a heart and a very interesting looking wreath around that. And then we've got the triangular Batavia, sorry. Silver coin. Is it a coin? I think it's a coin. Yes, it's got a denomination. Coin from the Perth Mint. So lots of very cool things to showcase over this coming weeks. But those are the 3 to choose from this week. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section of which one you'd like to see next time. And voting really does matter because sometimes these are very close votes. So if you'd like to see something in particular, then make sure you do cast that vote. Now, if you've enjoyed today's overview and video of this Germania Mint Allegories round, then please make sure you hit the thumbs up button and tell the Germania Mint your feedback as well. You know, like or hate, these are interesting rounds and they are very keen to hear the community feedback. I know that for a fact. So make sure you share your thoughts and comments down in that comment section. Otherwise, that's it from me today. If you want to see videos like this in the future, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, have a fantastic week ahead. Thank you all for watching, and please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.